All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to another year-end series. Let's jump on over. We're back at Topsters, and I'm going to do a top 10, the Murray top 10 movies of all time. In no particular order. I'm not going to do like 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. Off the top of my head, this is going to follow suit to similar to the best music albums and all that. And the best video games. Which one did we do so far? Best video games? Yeah, so we have this one and then music. Maybe I'll do a top 10 for music, maybe a 20. I don't know, we'll see. But this is my year-end series for 2023. We go all the way to the end of December with specials. And the two big ones are Album of the Year and Video Game of the Year. We also have Indie Title of the Year, a VR title, and many more. So please stay tuned throughout November and December for the year-end series. This has been a 15-year ongoing tradition. All right, let's get going. So, I am a big mob movie guy. Everything from what did that take now? Everything from The Sopranos to the movies to the old gangster films. You know what? I bet you I have to refresh this, huh? Let's try that. Yeah, it's not doing it. All right. Here we go. It's got to be like exact a certain way or it won't look it up. That's how I noticed Topsters is. Tier Maker could be like that too. All right, so we got Goodfellas. Let's just jump right back into it. I mean, I could really do a top mob movies, really, if I wanted to, because that's mostly what I watch. All right, so we'll start off with Goodfellas and Casino. Okay? All right. Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, actually, you know what? My bad. I'm rushing this. Let me go back. All right, so I told you about the mob movies. Obsessed. I've seen every one. I watched some old ones with my mom. I watched, the roots of where they started from. Gangster movies in general. Just not even just like when you think of like the mob. Everything from like Bonnie and Clyde and just, James Cagney and Anthony Quinn. We saw one that was really good. Public Enemy, all that, and then of course, The Godfather, Scarface, all that, and was always my number one type of film. So The Goodfellas and Casino is probably some of the best acting I've ever seen. Joe Pesci, Al Pacino. Scarface. Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. It's just incredible. Incredible. Ray Liotta. I mean, they're insane on the screen. And some of my favorite acting. Predator. When I saw Predator when I was a kid, it blew my mind. I still watch it today with the same exact excitement. Predator was a movie that I grew up with, and it never, ever, ever gets stale. It never gets old. And I'm talking just the first one. I don't know about whatever else happened. The original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger and that whole crew, Jesse Ventura, Carl Weathers, top notch. Top freaking notch. There's so many classic scenes from that movie, and there's so many quotes from that movie. It's like we quote that movie at least once a day. At least. Um, that's one of the best movies for quotes. All right. One of my favorite movies of all time, The Exorcist, the original with Linda Blair. Um, The Exorcist will forever hold a soft spot in my heart. Greatest movie of all time, in my opinion, and greatest horror film of all time, and will not be beat. It's just there's something about that movie that will never leave my mind. And as many times as I see it, as many times as they put it on TV, I'll catch it and I'll be glued to it to the end. And that's just the way it is, you know? Let's stick with horror, one of my other favorite genres. Oops. The Shining, Stephen King. We could list a lot of Stephen King movies. He's a jerk, him. But his movies are fantastic. I've read all the books as well, so I know the differences between the books and the movies. The Shining is one of the classics in horror. And in my opinion, one of the best horror movies of all. Right up there with The Exorcist. Definitely one of the best Stephen King, I would say. Close with Pet Sematary. And I was always a big fan of, Carrie, but Sissy Spacek. But Christine, the car. But yeah, one of my favorites. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. Die Hard, the original. Die Hard will always be the best number one action movie. Bruce Willis killed it in that movie. Another one for quotes. Another one for iconic scenes. Hans Gruber, Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. But you know, it's just a freaking movie that all these movies, if you notice, you could watch them and watch them and watch them and watch them, and it seems like they get better, and you always pick up stuff. Crazy, right? It's cray-cray. It really is cray-cray. All right. Let's get a little newer here. Well, not new, but... Now, why did I think... Oh, I know why. Because I put the. See? See the difference? Yep. All right, Gladiator. Russell Crowe did such an amazing performance in this movie. Wait for my signal and unleash hell. Frost. Sometimes it makes the blade stick. Are you not entertained? Probably the number one movie for quotes. That's another one I quote at least once a day. This movie is so badass, especially when you watch it like in your home theater with the sound. I fucking love this movie. Do you know, like, when I first saw this movie, my head was spinning, and I think I rewatched it right away, and I've been obsessed since. I just got it recently on 4K. Ugh. Gladiator will always be a classic. There's just no other way to describe it. Now we have 3 left. Now, it's hard to stick a greatest movies in a top 10. It's like impossible. It's like sticking an elephant in a cookie jar. You know what I'm trying to say? So, let's see. Oh, man. Just not enough. I should have made this a 20. I could change it, but I'm not gonna. Let's do the challenge. Let's pick the 3, right? And then when I'm done making this, I'll think of more that I could have did. But all right, let's think now. Liar, Liar. I'll tell you why. Liar, Liar is one of my favorite comedies of all time. I just think it's brilliant. And my favorite Jim Carrey movie ever. And I think he was at his top in this movie. This movie was emotional. This movie was funny. This movie makes you laugh every time you see it. And it's just crazy and zany fun. One of my favorite movies of all time. And I just think that he was the best in this movie. A lot of people say, oh no, Ace Ventura, or, Me, Myself, and Irene, which is a close one to this. If it wasn't for Liar Liar, that would be mine. I mean, anything with Renee Zellweger. But it makes me think of Jerry Maguire now, see? And it's just, it's just a freaking fantastic movie. That's all. A good time, right? And that's what it's all about. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to do? Well, we got some comedy. That's good. We got some action. Ah, man. Okay. The original Jurassic Park. Whoa. I love this movie. I really do. I think this movie is just utterly insane. I remember when I first saw it, it was like really for its time, it really turned heads. It really did. I think of it like when we first saw Harry Potter. But for its time, it was really, really something. And even today, when I watch it, Jurassic Park changed the world, changed the movie scene, or the way we look at animated dinosaurs. They paved the way. Theme parks were made, merchandise, series, sequels, video games. It's fucking amazing. I gotta stick an oldie. One thing I didn't do here, and I'm a big oldies fan. I like retro movies. My mom got me into them, and I freaking love them. And I can't go without mentioning a movie from my favorite actress of all time, Marilyn Monroe. I do have a shrine. And here's the best fucking movie ever. I don't know how they're gonna, if I'm doing it right. Let's see. Yep. 7-Year Itch. That is the fucking shit right there. To me, it's one of the best Marilyn Monroe movies. To me, she looked the best in that movie. That movie was like top tier. There's so many classic scenes, and that movie will get you on the ground laughing. That movie is so freaking funny. And it's funny, too, because when you read a lot about her, she was the complete opposite of the act she played on screen. Norma Jean. And I just love that movie. And that's another one that when that movie goes on, I mean, I love Niagara. I love all of them. Gentlemen's Prefer Blondes. But when I see that one go on, I'm glued. Her and I would say, Elizabeth Taylor's my favorite. I was going to put The Giant on here, and Audrey Hepburn, which would be a funny face for me. But I have to put 7-Year Itch on here. So that's my top 10. you know, I could keep going. If I could keep going, I would put Wayne's World. The reason why I didn't was because I'd have to put Wayne's World 2, and that would take up two spots. The Godfather, um, Scarface. I'm a big fan. I'm not really into cowboy movies except for Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood, I watch uh, all his movies could be on here. Joe Kidd, Hang 'em High. My favorite is The Outlaw Josie Wales. That one would definitely make a top list, a top 20. Um, Again, there's some great movies. Great movies. Um, Harry Potter. I like that. I like a lot of animated movies. So, I could have kept going on and on, but I'm going to stick here to the top 10. What are your top 10 movies or top movies in general? Chime in the comments below. And until the next series, year end series, I'll see you guys. Be safe and be well.